Freediving stretching, everything you need to know in 2 minutes. Coming up. What's up? Gert from Leroy.com with Master Freediving. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm a freediving instructor. I dive from breath holds. This channel is all about helping you master freediving, including tutorials, stories, and the latest news from the freediving community. And today, another episode of 2-minute crash course. We're gonna talk about stretching for freediving. So if you're new here, consider subscribing, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Alright guys, stretching for freediving, 2 minutes, here we go. First of all, what do you have to stretch? Your diaphragm, your intercostal muscles, and something a lot of people forget, your shoulders. So let's focus on these 3 body parts. So first of all, your diaphragm is the big muscle that separates your thorax from your abdominal region. It can go up and down, and by going up and down, it regulates the volume of your lungs. In other words, it regulates in and exhalation. So it's a very important muscle. The more flexible it is, the more you can control this muscle, the better you will be able to breathe, the better you will deal with pressure as you dive deeper, and the better you will equalize. Now, how are we going to stretch the diaphragm? Well, we have the famous Uddiyana Bandha, of course. So the Uddiyana Bandha is a stretch of the diaphragm. It is not a breath hold exercise, but we do it on breath hold and we do it on empty lungs breath hold. So you're going to exhale the air so that there is no air anymore, or at least almost no air in your lungs, which makes space for the diaphragm to go up. So we're going to suck up the diaphragm almost under our rib cage. Now there's also other ways to stretch your diaphragm. For instance, when you lay down on a gym ball and you do a backward bend, then you're stretching this whole thoracic region and your diaphragm at the same time. What else? We're going to stretch the intercostal muscles. The intercostal muscles are the muscles that are in between your ribs. Why would we want to stretch those muscles? Well, we want to breathe deep, and deep breathing means diaphragmatic breathing. So when you want to breathe through your diaphragm, you have to make it possible that your flying ribs can go open and back in, open and back in. Every time you inhale, the volume of air is going to get bigger, and your ribs, your intercostal muscles, they have to be flexible, because if they are rigid, how can they go inwards and outwards? It's impossible. So the more flexible these muscles in between those ribs are, the more you can open up, come back, open up, come back. And last but not least, your shoulders, of course, because in many freediving disciplines, you're gonna have to hold your hands in front of you. And for me, this is already a kind of stressful situation because I'm quite rigid in my shoulders. So a more natural position for me would be more or less this. But the moment I keep my hands more in alignment with my body, it's not a really comfortable position anymore. So we have to work on the flexibility of the shoulders, not just for certain disciplines, but also, for instance, for your free fall. There are some divers that keep their hands above their head while they're free falling. This would of course have positive benefits on your speed, you're more hydrodynamic. I think you have to be very flexible in your shoulders to achieve this. For most divers this is not the case, but that doesn't mean you can't work on it. You can also do that on the gym ball by laying down on your back and then letting your hands hang, so you stretch these shoulders. Especially men are rigid in the shoulders, and if you go to the gym and you do overhead presses, you are building up more muscle in this area, and all of this makes your shoulders more rigid. So you might want to avoid that. I love overhead presses and I love to have a bit bigger shoulders because it just looks good, but unfortunately for freediving, it's not the best thing. So you have to make a choice here. What is it that you really go for? If you want to go for flexibility in the shoulders, then that's what you have to work on. If you guys have any questions about stretching for freediving, then let me know in the comments. And if you want to know more about mastering freediving, then hit the round subscribe button here. And here I have the full playlist of the 2-minute crash course. So go ahead and click on that. That's it guys, see you next time. Peace.